Mr. Beast is in trouble, all right? Everyone's upset about Mr. Beast because he cured the blindness of 1,000 people. What a fucking horrible person. Of all the shit to get angry about, it's a fucking autistic YouTuber curing blind people who can't afford surgery. Yeah, let's get angry at him. Hey, Jimmy. Hey, stop curing the blind. It's pissing me off. I don't know. Here's the thing. I understand why people are upset, okay? Because I watched that video and I'm from Australia, all right? We have healthcare. And Mr. Beast is going, did you know that 50% of all blindness can be cured with a 10-minute surgery? And I thought, yeah, I knew that. That's why in Australia, we have a very popular charity called the Fred Hollows Charity, where we help cure blindness. Not for Australians, but for people in third world countries. Because in Australia, if you have that sort of blindness, you go to the GP and you go, oh, I can't fucking see anything. And they go, yeah, sure, here's a surgery you're booked in for next month, and you get it done, you walk out, you go, oh my God, I can see tits again. You know, I might need to get that surgery after seeing that old man's cock. All right? But apparently in America, if you're blind, and even though it can be fixed within 10 minutes, they go, yeah, fuck you for being poor. It's your fault. Get a job, loser. Pay for it yourself. And those people go, oh, well, actually, I had a job and I was a highly skilled individual, but then in my 40s, I fucking went blind, and now I don't know how to start my life again because I don't know how to live as a blind person. I have to learn how to exist as a blind person, and then maybe I'll start getting a job. But by the time I've figured out how to be blind without walking the walls and being to read shit, I've lost everything. So no, I can't afford the surgery anymore. Oops. And then American government goes, well, that's maybe you shouldn't be poor. Have you thought about trying to not be poor? Why don't you get a job? And then the blind person goes, yeah, sure. Why don't I get a minimum wage waitressing job? And they show up to work, and the first thing they do is put their fucking hands in the deep fryer. Now they've got no hands. And then America goes, oh, why don't you stop being poor? So I understand why people are upset, because here's the thing. It is absolutely fucking insane to even be able to make that video, right? Because you need two things. You need to live in a country where it is possible, right, to become an influencer, right, which is insane in and of itself, all right? That's a very first world thing to be able to do what I do. You know, be like, oh, what's your job? Oh, I talk about old man cock for 10 minutes on a podcast, and for some reason people find value in that and they give me money because those people are making enough money in their jobs to be able to throw it at people talking about cocks. That's fucking insane. Just that concept, all right? But also you have to live in a land of opportunity and be so good at being an influencer that you can do that so well to the degree many, many thousand times levels higher than what I'm doing it at, which is already fucking insane on a global scale, right? You have to be doing that for so long and for so well with so many people with disposable incomes watching that you can make tens of millions of dollars, right? While at the same time, in the same place, there are people that are so fucking poor, they can't afford a 10-minute surgery to be able to see again. Those two things have to exist at the same time in the same place to make that video. And that is fucking insane. It's insane that there can be a place where a guy can make tens of millions of dollars filming himself doing challenges and shit, but there can also be people making so little money that they can't afford to not go blind, while the government spends $1 trillion on the military instead of $5, relatively speaking, to the government on making someone else be able to see. And then that person will then go on to get a job and chase their dream and maybe become successful and pay back that money they spent on their healthcare 1,000-fold in taxes. But instead, there's something so broken about the American culture that they go, yeah, well, maybe those sick people should probably try not being poor. Have you tried not being poor while you're sick? That's insane. That's what you should be angry about. You should be stoked that Mr. Beast is doing that. That's great. It's a good thing. It's an undeniably good thing. And yes, he's going to profit out of it, but those profits will funnel back into doing more of this shit. And if he didn't funnel those profits, if he didn't make a profit, he wouldn't be able to do it at all. So it's a net benefit to the world. Yes, he's doing it for selfish reasons, all right? I don't think that Mr. Beast, like, started out going, I want to cure blind people. He goes, I want to make a good video, and we're lucky that those two interests mesh. Do you know what I mean? We're lucky. And so are the people, and also all those people that had their blindness cured, I don't think any of them are like, yeah, but, I wish he didn't make $1 out of it. They will be like, oh man, I would love to watch the video. I can see my kids and kiss them. Oh, is that what my wife looks like? Beautiful. Oh, look, a sunset. I miss those. They don't give a fuck. All right? Yes, it's absolutely fucking disgusting that he is even able to make that video, but it's not his fault at all, all right? It's the fucking system that they live in, all right? It's so wrong that there can be a guy making tens of millions of dollars curing people's blindness instead of the government making trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars, spending it on fucking bombing countries you can't even pronounce instead of fixing and cleaning up their own backyard a little bit. And it's that type of environment that breeds a homelessness crisis and a mental health crisis so bad that it ends up with getting my friend Keelan brutally murdered on a live stream. Granted, he was antagonizing them, but still, if there were no homeless people, he would be alive today. And I'm not angry at Mr. Beast for that. I'm angry at Joe Biden. So that's my thoughts on Mr. Beast, is he's a good person, or at the very least, he's a guy doing good things for a selfish reason, which is better than him not doing it at all. But yes, it is infuriating that it's even possible for that video to be made, all right? Like in Australia, if there was an Australian Mr. Beast, he would have to settle with curing blindness in the third world, right? Which, yes, is better and causes more good, but it's going to get less views, and it's because you can't get like a sweet old southern grandma crying, seeing her grandkids for the first time. You have to fucking deal with Matobo crying, but he doesn't speak English, so it's not really good for views, and the retention goes down, and that's bad for ad rates, and that's bad for click-through rates, and then all of a sudden your video's not getting any views, and then, next thing you know, you've cured people's blindness for fucking nothing. Cool, you guys can see, where's my ad revenue? I'm trying to sell t-shirts here, all right? How the fuck am I going to sell festivals if you cunts don't be grateful to my charity in English? What else has been happening? All right.